I'm relieved that Mark Anderson, the Golden Bachelorette star, is no longer in the Bachelor franchise because the show doesn't deserve him as the lead. He has fallen in love with his girlfriend, Barbara Allen Woods, since Mark is the father of Joey Graziadei's fiancée, Kelsey Anderson. He got his Bachelor Nation start during Joey's Bachelor season. He joined season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette to try to get along with Joan Vassos. After losing his wife Denise to breast cancer in 2018, Joan believed that Mark wasn't as far along in his grieving process as she was grieving for her late husband John, who died of pancreatic cancer in 2021. Therefore, she said farewell to him after their one-on-one date during season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette. Many people believed that Mark would be chosen as the next Golden Bachelor after the show ended, but I'm thrilled that he fell in love with One Tree Hill actress Barbara on his own. Mark is a decent guy with a wonderful heart, and I'm glad we didn't have to see him go through what the producers did to Jerry Turner in season 1 of The Golden Bachelor. Though it was later revealed that he had a long-term girlfriend, Jerry was first presented as a widower who hadn't dated much since his wife Toni unexpectedly died of a bacterial infection 6 years prior to his appearance on the show. Jerry and Teresa Nist became engaged and married during the Golden Wedding, which was shown on television. However, they divorced after only 3 months because they couldn't agree on where to live, and neither of them wanted to leave their families. Additionally, Jerry later disclosed that his objectives changed after receiving a diagnosis of an incurable type of bone marrow cancer. Because of all of this, Jerry was then unjustly made into a villain, and the Golden Bachelor producers did nothing to help him keep up his reputation. I believe that the character that the show had crafted for him was completely incorrect, and he could never have lived up to it. Since Mark has already fallen in love with Barbara, I'm rather pleased that he won't have to endure being the next Golden Bachelor. The producers, in my opinion, are unfit to handle him and would ultimately damage his reputation in the same manner that they contributed to Jerry's. Mark and Teresa were under pressure to be married as soon as possible so that the program could give them the wedding of their dreams, which led to a lot of issues for Jerry. They may have even forced Mark into another golden wedding. The show doesn't deserve a man like Mark who sincerely hopes to discover the next big love of his life. And Jerry didn't deserve it either. Mark didn't have to go through the Golden Bachelor's procedure, which is another reason I'm glad he found love with Barbara outside of the program. Jerry suffered greatly from the Golden Bachelor, and I would have detested seeing Mark subjected to the same kind of manipulation. Rather, Mark and Barbara were able to develop their connection in private and according to their own terms. Despite the fact that they are both well known, they shared information about their relationship on social media when they were ready. They weren't compelled to be in the spotlight. Although I believe that Mark wasn't quite prepared to begin a new relationship, when he joined the Golden Bachelorette, that experience was essential for him to be prepared to go on and find his next big love. Though he and Barbara are working through it in private, it's probable that Mark is still having some difficulties. He would have had to handle his relationship in front of the world once more as a result of becoming the Golden Bachelor. Mark, in my opinion, deserved better than that. Throughout the holidays, Mark and Barbara have been able to unite their families, which includes her 3 daughters and Mark's 5 children. Barbara posted images of their Christmas celebration at Branson, Missouri's Belle Reve Mansion on Instagram. Mark would have had to publicly meet the families of his possible partners on The Golden Bachelor, which isn't the best way to start a new relationship. Since Mark and Barbara don't force their relationship on the show, I've liked watching them discuss things on their own terms. Hearing that Mark had fallen in love with Barbara made me very happy. They appear to be quite happy together based on their social media posts. They're developing their relationship on their own terms and having a great time. It's impossible to predict how Mark's prospects of finding love and potentially his life would have been damaged if he had been the next Golden Bachelor star. As Mark and Barbara embark on this new chapter in their lives, I wish them the best. Mark Anderson, a standout from The Golden Bachelorette, has found love with his girlfriend, actress Barbara Alyn Woods, and I couldn't be happier for him. His journey in Bachelor Nation was unexpected, but in the end, stepping away from the franchise may have been the best decision for him. Mark originally gained attention through his connection to Joey Graziadei's season of The Bachelor, where his daughter, Kelsey Anderson, ultimately won Joey's heart. Mark's personal story, marked by the loss of his beloved wife Denise to breast cancer in 2018, made him a compelling figure when he decided to join The Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Initially, Mark entered the show with an open heart, hoping to connect with Joan Vassos, a woman who had also experienced deep loss. Joan lost her husband, John, to pancreatic cancer in 2021, and while their shared grief seemed to be a foundation for potential romance, Joan ultimately felt that Mark wasn't as far along in his healing journey as she was. Their one-on-one date was heartfelt, but it was clear that Joan needed someone who had reached a different stage in moving forward. Mark was disappointed, but graciously accepted her decision, and the audience sympathized with his emotional vulnerability. As The Golden Bachelorette wrapped up, speculation swirled about whether Mark would be chosen as the next Golden Bachelor. Many fans saw him as the perfect candidate, charismatic, warm, and genuine. But in hindsight, it's clear that walking away from the franchise was the best thing for him. Instead of subjecting himself to the intense scrutiny and manipulative tactics of reality TV, Mark found love organically with Barbara, an actress best known for her role on One Tree Hill. Mark is a man with a pure heart, and watching him find love outside of the Bachelor Nation machine is a relief. The way the franchise handled Jerry Turner, the first Golden Bachelor, was nothing short of exploitative. Initially portrayed as the perfect widower who hadn't dated since losing his wife, Tony, Jerry's backstory was later revealed to be much more complicated. He had, in fact, been in a long-term relationship post-widowhood, which Bachelor producers conveniently omitted. When Jerry got engaged to Teresa Nist on the show, their highly publicized golden wedding was pushed as a fairy tale ending. However, just 3 months later, the couple divorced, citing irreconcilable differences regarding where to live. Jerry's reputation took a hit as audiences turned on him, seeing him as indecisive or even misleading. Further complicating matters, Jerry later revealed that he had been diagnosed with an incurable form of bone marrow cancer, which understandably shifted his priorities. Yet, the show's producers did nothing to support him publicly or to help maintain the positive image they had initially crafted. This ruthless treatment of Jerry proved that the Bachelor franchise isn't equipped to handle the emotional complexities of older contestants in the way they should. Had Mark been chosen as the next Golden Bachelor, there's no doubt he would have faced a similarly invasive and potentially damaging experience. By finding love with Barbara outside of the franchise, Mark has been able to build a relationship on his own terms, free from the pressures of TV timelines and public expectations. Even though both he and Barbara are public figures, they had the luxury of keeping their romance private until they were ready to share it with the world. They announced their relationship via social media, posting joyful pictures that showcased their genuine happiness together. Unlike the manufactured moments of The Golden Bachelor, their love story unfolded naturally. Reflecting on Mark's time on The Golden Bachelorette, it's possible that he wasn't entirely ready to embark on a new relationship when he first joined the show. The loss of a spouse is profound, and healing isn't a linear process. while reality TV forces contestants to rush through emotions. For the sake of entertainment, real-life love allows for patience and true connection. Mark may have needed more time to fully open his heart to someone new, and thankfully, he was able to do so at his own pace with Barbara. One of the beautiful aspects of Mark and Barbara's relationship is how they've seamlessly blended their families. Mark has 5 children, while Barbara has 3 daughters of her own. The couple spend the holidays together at Belle Reve Mansion in Branson, Missouri, sharing heartwarming moments that showcase the merging of their 2 families. Had Mark been the Golden Bachelor, he would have had to meet potential partners, families in a highly orchestrated setting, which doesn't always lend itself to genuine connections. Instead, he and Barbara have navigated these important milestones in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. The idea of finding love later in life is both beautiful and challenging. It requires balancing past grief with future hope, and it demands a deep level of understanding between partners. Mark and Barbara appear to have found that balance. They've built a relationship rooted in mutual respect, shared experiences, and a genuine appreciation for one another. Watching them thrive outside the Bachelor spotlight is refreshing. Reality TV dating shows, particularly in the Bachelor franchise, often struggle to depict mature relationships in a way that feels real. The accelerated timelines, producer interference, and pressure to create fairy tale endings don't align with how relationships naturally develop. While The Golden Bachelor was a step toward representing older adults in the dating world, it still followed the same problematic format as its younger counterpart. Contestants are encouraged to form deep emotional bonds within weeks, and engagements are expected by the finale. This setup, while dramatic, is unrealistic for most people, especially those with decades of life experience and significant past relationships. Mark's decision to pursue love outside of this framework was wise. He avoided the pitfalls that ensnared Jerry and Teresa, and instead, he found a partner with whom he could move forward at a comfortable pace. Had he agreed to be the Golden Bachelor, he likely would have been pressured into a quick engagement, an over-the-top wedding, and a media frenzy surrounding his relationship, none of which fosters a healthy and lasting partnership. It's also important to acknowledge the role of grief in Mark's journey. Losing a spouse is a life-altering experience, and navigating love after loss is deeply personal. Barbara, who has not been publicly known to experience the same kind of loss, has shown incredible support and understanding for Mark's past. Together, they are carving out a new chapter that honors Mark's late wife, while also allowing him to embrace the future. This delicate balance is something that reality TV rarely captures well, which is why it's so great that Mark was able to experience it privately. Mark and Barbara's love story is a testament to the fact that meaningful relationships don't need a reality show to validate them. The pressure of televised romance often distorts what true love looks like, but real connections thrive in everyday moments, quiet conversations, shared laughter, and the blending of lives over time. As Mark and Barbara continue their journey together, I hope they continue to find happiness on their own terms. Their relationship is proof that love can be found when you least expect it, and that sometimes stepping away from the limelight is the best way to build something real. If the Golden Bachelor franchise wants to succeed in the future, it should take a page from Mark's book and prioritize authenticity over spectacle. For now, Mark and Barbara seem content just living life together, traveling, spending time with family and supporting each other's endeavors. And really, isn't that what love should be about? I wish them nothing but the best as they continue to write their love story, one that doesn't need a reality TV script to be meaningful. Mark Anderson had always been a man of quiet dignity. While reality television often thrives on drama, Mark was the kind of contestant who brought sincerity to the forefront. When he first appeared on The Golden Bachelor, he immediately won over audiences with his kindness, charm, and genuine search for love. However, despite his strong presence on the show, he never quite found the right connection, as fans rallied behind him to become the next lead for The Golden Bachelor. Mark remained hesitant. He had witnessed firsthand how reality television could amplify emotions, manufacture conflict, and push contestants into high-stakes relationships that weren't always built to last. While he valued the friendships he made on the show, he knew deep down that his love story wasn't meant to be written under the glare of studio lights. Mark had joined the show for the right reasons. He genuinely wanted to find love again after losing his wife of 30 years. Unlike some contestants who saw The Golden Bachelor as an opportunity for fame, Mark approached it with sincerity. He went on heartfelt dates, listened intently, and truly sought a deep emotional connection. But in the end, he realized that the fast-paced environment of reality TV didn't align with his approach to love. Producers saw his popularity and considered him as the next leading man, but Mark had reservations. He wasn't interested in fabricated drama or the pressures of making a quick decision about his future. He knew that real love took time and couldn't be wrapped up neatly into a single television season. While the opportunity was tempting, he ultimately decided to walk away from the franchise.